Yo, what is up, guys? Duke Nation Reviews 101. Shouting, come natural, let's do this. First, actually, sorry for the relative silence we've been having. I've just been really busy with, you know, work and uni and stuff like that, so I haven't really had a chance to get stuff done, but I will work out a way to have constant content coming to you guys, so hopefully that should be sort of up soon. Anyways, today we're reviewing a relatively short EP. It's called, sorry, it's a 4-track EP made by DYAD. It's basically a storytelling concept album, or the whole album had storytelling elements to it, which is good. I like that. It was based around, or what seemed to me based around, the artist's life. In general, it was good. It had some cool concepts. Real substance. That's something I took away from it. The substance was real. You could tell that the artist was talking about his life, or the way he delivered it was really good. So, in terms of that, I'm talking about in how genuine those lyrics came across off as. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I mean, it really came across as every song. It came across to me that every song meant something to you, and I think that's good. That's important. You want every song to mean something to you, so that way, when you put it out, you put all your effort into it. You literally put your heart and soul into it, which is good. The lyrics, they complemented the beats for most of it. The lyrics weren't over animated. They were nice, chilled out, lax beats. So without this over animation, there was enough room for the listener to pay attention to the lyrics a bit more. Because usually, what happens is, or what I find is sometimes, like during a storytelling type beat or something where you want to pay attention to the lyrics. If the beat has too much going on, you don't end up doing that, which is it's not really what you want. But in terms of that, that was good. I like that. The mixing, though, I think the mixing could be better. Maybe if you did the mixing yourself, learn a bit about EQ and compression, and bringing up the volume in general. I found that the lyrics were quite soft, and I had to turn up the volume. But when I did that, the beats were a lot louder. So it was just like, shit, do I want to hear the beats? Do I want to hear the lyrics? So I think, yeah, just learn a bit about basics of mixing. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It can get very technical, but just put a bit of time into that, and it'll definitely sound a lot better. In the second song, you had a feature. Pretty sure the second song, yeah. The feature verse was good, but there was a lot of clipping in his audio. It sounded like you guys, I'm not sure if this is what happened, but it sounded like you recorded from two different mics, or the feature verse was so much closer to the mic than you were, because it really was clipping, and you could hear a lot of it cutting out. So maybe for future reference, just make sure there's like a good amount of distance between you and the mic, but not too much, obviously. In terms of what could be worked on, I think your lyrical delivery, although this may get confusing because I said your delivery was good before. Your lyrical delivery, you're very monotonous with what you're saying. It sounded like it sounded like spoken word poetry. There was no rhythm or sway within your tone, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. That could just be your stylistic point of view, or how you're trying to come across off as. I think it could be worked on. There's definitely it just was monotonous, and it sounded like, for example, the first song sounded like a voicemail that you left to someone in a stanza, essentially. It sounded like you're leaving a voicemail to someone. So I don't know if that's what you were going for, but that is definitely something maybe you could, like, with a little bit of changing tones here and there and raising your volume a little bit, not too much, just vary your sound a little bit. It just makes it for a nice sounding song in general. And on top of that, it'll blend with the beats a lot more. This was very monotonous, and it didn't really blend so much. They complemented but didn't blend. If you want me to elaborate on that, just send me a message and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Yeah, basically in general what I'm really trying to say is just that it lacked emotional delivery, emotional energy, sorry. What you had was real, but it sounded like, not that you weren't true in your lyrics, it just sounded like basically, like you're recording at night and there's people around and it sounded like you were trying to keep your volume down so you don't wake them up, which is cool, I respect that, but you definitely want to kind of overemphasize everything, your volume, your tones, and stuff like that when you're recording, just so it like sticks out a little bit more, especially in like music tracks, because people can't see you. There's a lot less to work with in terms of visuals and stuff like that for the person to create this sonic landscape, if you will, in their head. So you want to be a bit more. You don't want to overemphasize things, but you want to emphasize them a bit more than you usually would in a regular day-to-day conversation. I did like I like the hooks actually. The hooks that came, I assume they came with the beats. Listen to the difference between the hook and your verses, and you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of how your voice didn't blend in with the beats, because the hooks were mixed, I assume, with the beats, and they blended a lot better. If you do know who did that, maybe ask him how he did it, and you could apply the same techniques to your verses, your vocals. It would help. I did like your daughter's verse for the hook in the last song. That was interesting. I do, however, think it could have been shorter. It sounded like she was reading a verse, which she probably was, but I could only hear the first two lines. After that, her voice completely drowned out in the beats, and yeah, it was an interesting concept. I like that. I respect it. I mean, yeah, maybe just have it a bit shorter, maybe 4 bars, and use her hook and try stacking vocals. That brings a bit more presence to to you or the artist or whoever you're listening. It brings more artists to the vocal. Sorry, my bad. I've had a long day. It brings more presence to the vocals. Look, Google stacking vocals. I'm sure you have heaps of tutorials that come up. In short, I mean, overall, it was good. I think you're different. You've got a unique sounding voice. I don't know if that is due to the way your vocals sounded and your style on it, but you definitely have a unique sounding voice, which is good. I liked your concepts. Your lyrics were true. They came from the heart. At least that's how it came across off to me. And you wanted to. This was your way of venting, if you will, or just getting things off your chest, clearing your mind. And if so, then that's good, because that's where the best lyrics come from, when they're true, right from the soul. I think you've got good ideas, but you need to work on your delivery, work on your lyricism, and work on the mixing. But the mixing is not like the most important. You can always find a good engineer that can do that for you. Once you start making more projects and all that. So I think in terms of what you're putting out, work on that more. Work on your deliveries, your voice. I don't know if it's your mic. I don't know what type of mic you recorded it. If you're using a laptop mic or you just standard USB mics, maybe that may be the issue, and that prevented the sound, the full range of frequency from being sent through too. But maybe work on, just check that. Maybe that could be the issue now that I think about it. But in general, it was a good concept. I'm keen to see what else you come up with. But you just keep working, man. Practice a shitload. You don't have to put every song you make out. Not that I'm saying that your stuff is crap, but just make songs that you don't necessarily put out there, and make like 20 songs for your next project. Just for example, make 20, pick 5 if you want a 5-track EP, and just pick the best 5, and that'll come out, unless you've already done that, but that's usually a good way to make a good project. But that's just like general advice, not directed at you in any way. That's something I hope all of you guys listening, if you're an aspiring artist, to do it. Anyways, yeah, shit. If you have any comments, questions, what do you guys think of the video? Leave them in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, share. Yeah, cool. And I think that is it. Cool. Thanks for watching.